Okay, welcome. Welcome to MarcoTalk. Can you hear me? Joseph?
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, Juby, you are so happy today. Okay, so Juby is our special guest today, and Joseph, I have already informed you before, right? Now, Joseph, can you introduce yourself to us?
Okay, good
So
evening.
I'm basically
Wait,
a
don't
physiological.
Wait a minute. Is it me or GP? Oh my God.
Sorry, it's Joseph first. Okay, because Joseph is much older than you, so you have to respect the elder.
Wait a minute. How old is
Okay.
GP? How old are
Joseph,
you,
you first.
GP? Are you under 20?
I'm 26 years old. Yeah.
We are the same age.
Oh really? We actually look similar. Like, are you also from Asia?
Oh my God. I don't look like a nation to you? I don't look like a nation to you? Do I look like somebody from a foreign planet or from the outer space? Out of the galaxy or something like that? Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I the only one that over 50 years old in this meeting room?
Oh
You
my
are
God.
over
you're-
20 years,
Really?
Oh my
right?
God.
I'm
I
over
thought you were
50.
like somewhere around 100. Yeah.
Oh, so there is a very huge age gap among us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guess there is.
I see.
I guess there is. But it doesn't matter. I come from a planet called Cybertron. What if I tell you I come from Cybertron? Oh, but it doesn't really matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is Joseph King. I graduated from Nanjing University School of Foreign Languages and Cultures, and I majored in English interpretation. And I graduated last year. Of course, speaking of my public speaking career, I was the national champion in 2021 China Daily 21st Century Cup National Youth English Public Speaking Competition. And I am also the champion of Division G of District 85 in 2023 Toastmasters International Public Speaking Competition. And this is me. And as an English interpretation major student, I got myself level 2 translation as well as level 2 consecutive interpreting certificate of CATTI. And nice to see you guys.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Wow,
So let me
you
introduce
become the
myself.
MC. Okay, right. Okay, right. Please, Juby.
Yeah, so I've been graduating in Cambridge University. So I've studied there for almost 6 years. I'm still a student there. So if you want, you can just call me Dr. Ju. Yeah, so I've been studying major like, those management things. So especially those I would say like business. So I'm doing MBA right now. Yeah, that's really interesting. So Marco, where where you come from? So did you graduate from like Oxford?
Harvard, I believe.
Oh, Harvard.
No,
Okay.
I even didn't have a diploma for kindergarten.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't do those kind of discriminations. Yeah, we welcome everyone. Yeah.
You can see my tears. Okay, I'm so sad because I I don't even have a diploma for kindergarten, and you right, Dr. Ju, right, and also
Yeah.
Joseph also is a very knowledgeable person. So actually, I just learned how to speak English just today.
Your accent.
So,
Okay.
so I think life is so difficult to me, right? Oh, okay. Now we have a special guest again. I don't know how to call this. 做 or 左 or 作
Really?
Oh yeah.
Mrs.
Now who
Wow.
is the genius?
Okay.
You know, Chinese is just confusing. Like, it's really hard to like read those words, right? Like, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so could that guy maybe introduce herself? Like, you're from like 10 times of those universities. Like me, I'm from Cambridge. Yeah, how about you? Okay, seems that he just don't want to talk. So how about we start with Marco? Do you have something to want to talk about or share with us today?
I don't know. How about show my breast? Okay. Actually, this is our first episode, right? The whole meeting thing. We even don't have a topic for this. It's just like a test, or it's just for fun. So maybe anything you want to talk about, you can share with us. It's just fine because after all, we are not doing this for profits, right? We are just doing this for fun. So maybe why not? Oh, you know that a few days ago, I did something. All right, I asked people what do they want to hear from this channel, and some of them said that relationship, right? So relationship is frequent topics mentioned by them. Do you want to say something about it? I know, Dr. Ju, you are working on relationship, right? Because you are an expert as a relationship, right? You maybe you have mentioned to me before that you want to be a psychologist as well as a historian, and right, you are very interested in human mind, human brain. So do you have anything to say about relationship? My tears are still flowing. So what's that music about?
Oh, so this is just jazz. I usually listen to jazz when, when I'm at home. So I'm just quite having those like Starbucks feel because I'm a really big fan of Starbucks. Yeah. Yeah, so just heard about the question that you asked. Like, do you have something talked about those relationship? Actually, no, because this is the first time since like 2020 like I've even talked to humans. So through this past this 3 years, I was trying to talking to like communications with those plants. Yeah, so it's a really hard question, a really tough question for me to answer a question like those relationship human to human. So maybe how about we can ask Dr. King. So do you have any idea of the questions? Like anything you want to express?
About human relationship?
Yeah.
because a few days ago, actually, that's almost a week. Yeah, on October the 10th, I took on a business trip to take care of all the exchange students in Taicang, Suzhou.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it was really fun. I want to share my experience of how to. And I want to. I want to share with you the story about me dealing with those foreign contestants, and I really enjoyed this process. When I arrived at Taicang on October the 10th, my first mission was to go with them in the afternoon to visit the plants. I mean those industrial plants, not the plants you talk to at your home, Juby. But it was kind of a part of that program, and everybody enjoyed that visit to China Germany cooperated industrial plants. A lot of foreign exchange students were majoring in engineering, automobile manufacturing, or any kinds of any other kinds of engineering stuff. They were quite interested in that. and I was left there confused. But on the first day, we had a really good time in talking to each other, asking where they came from, asking them about their situation in their home, and asking how they felt in China. They all gave us very positive feedback, and of course, including those jokes I told them that I just told you before. They quite enjoyed that, and also they found a lot of things interesting, like on every e-bike, electrical bikes, there would be a cover. But for the people outside China, they never had such thing on their bikes, or they didn't even have electrical bicycles. They just had motorcycles or anything like that. They seem to be very curious about everything in China and in Taichung, this particular city, or this town, I should say. And everything became new to them. They
Okay,
kept
sorry
asking me
to
about everything.
interrupt you a little bit. Juby, can you just put off your microphone for some times because there are some fuzzy.
Okay.
Okay. So Joseph, sorry to interrupt you. Would you please continue?
Where was I?
So you were talking about those bikes. They don't have
Those bikes.
Maybe-
Bikes?
you said that they don't have any in their countries, right?
They
I'm
don't
not
have
sure.
daddies in their countries?
They don't have daddies.
They don't have
No.
what?
Oh no, sorry. Sorry. You can just pick up anything you would like to share with us.
Oh my god, let's continue about this. Let's
Okay.
just continue about this. Oh yeah. I was talking about that everything was new to them. Everything was new to them. Especially the cover. The cover on the e-bikes, the slogan that they saw at the streets, things like be a civilized citizen of Taicang and make this city a more beautiful place, things like that. But what they saw in their country was, especially for Americans, vote for Donald Trump, Trump for president, or things like keep selecting Biden to continue the national destiny, things like that. A lot of political propaganda slogans. But in China, it is quite different. We can always see that you have to be civilized, you have to be well educated, you have to make the city a more beautiful place, you have to make the city a more friendly place to everybody. That's the slogan we usually have. And also, on the second day, they visited to a lot of Asian places in Taicang, especially for Liuhe Asian Town. It was the richest town in the whole Taicang city. They were very pleased about tasting the ducks, drinking the rice wine, and appreciating tea. They just enjoyed the whole trip. And they all felt very happy because they enjoyed one of the essential parts in the Chinese culture. Especially from tea culture, they learned to be quiet and patient, to appreciate the flavor of the tea through the sip, to the tongue, to the throat, all the way down. And this is the tea culture that they learned. This is the tea culture they learned. And on the third day, it was the competition. I encouraged everybody, and their atmosphere was really good. I never expected that they could have such a friendly atmosphere, and everybody was not that nervous. Everybody was friendly. It was unlike some competitions that I had taken part in. Just things like fierce competition. Everybody was so intense. Everybody was on the nerve. Everybody wanted to win. They never talked to each other. They show cold faces to each other. But for them, it was quite special. Before they went to the stage, they would say, "Yo, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't be afraid of the stage. Just do what you can. Just do whatever you can. You're the best. Cheer up." Things like this, and every time they asked me how to say cheer up or things like that, or what do you say before you go to the competition? We always say 加油, and I taught them 加油. This is a commonly used Chinese expression to cheer people up, to encourage them. And after, when they come down the stage, when they come down from the stage, they would say, "Oh, good job! You're doing great! You're having a fantastic job!" Things like that. Even they're strangers, I still believe that there is a close bondage between them, and they would just blend in so quickly, and they would just become good friends in a short instance. I really admire this kind of an atmosphere, and I really enjoyed being with them when I was in this program, and I saw a very precious part of human being. That is the friendship, the true friendship, the ingenuity of friendship among those people. That's what I had over the last 3 days. And it is very lucky that some of those foreign exchange students come from Nanjing. They live in Nanjing and they study in Southeast University. And this Sunday, we're planning to have another meetup. We are going to continue this friendship among each other. It is really great.
Wow, thank you. It's so touching. So you are the trainer for this program, as we have talked about a little bit before, right? So how many of them in this group?
In total, that's 30 of them. In total, that's 30. Yes.
Oh.
I am not a trainer. I am just one of the working staff. But I show them the places. I take care of their trips. I need to call them on the buses, lead them all the way in this Asian town thing, and show them around all the scenic spots. And of course, if they have things they don't understand, I am just going to explain everything to them, like the cover at the front of the e-bikes, like the slogans they saw in the city. And at the same time, there was an interesting analogy from a Pakistani student. He said, "I really think the town of Taicang is just like Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, you know, that city in United Arab Emirates, UAE.
I
Abu
don't know
Dhabi.
because I'm from
Abu
kindergarten.
Dhabi, yeah, because
okay.
but it was quite. But after thinking for a while, I think Abu Dhabi and Taizong are quite different. Because in Abu Dhabi, there will be a lot of skyscrapers with a lot of advanced technologies. But okay, one part of Taizong was full of technology, but unlike Abu Dhabi, there were very few Lamborghini, Porsche, and Mercedes-Benz AMG on the street of Taizong, of course. But it was really interesting for him to make an analogy like that. So they were quite imaginative. They had boundless imagination. And when we were visiting the museum of Zhenghe, you know, the voyager who traveled 7 times during 1405 to 1433 overseas, when they saw the treasure boat, when they saw that big boat, the ancient Chinese boat, the treasure boat, the first response for them was, "Oh my God, that's Chinese Titanic!" That's Chinese Titanic. And the second thought is, "Oh my God, that's gotta be the Chinese version of the Pirates of Caribbean Seas." Oh my God, they had boundless imagination, I really gotta say. And it was indeed a collision between civilizations, but I thought it was a very interesting one. Because because for some countries, the history of their nations was not even long. It was not even longer than that of one of our destinies. Dynasties, not destinies. But they were very willing to know more about the Chinese dynasties. They were willing to show their enthusiasm to the Chinese culture. That's what I want to say about this little trip of mine.
Okay, well, thank you, Joseph. Thank you for sharing. I start to get envious of you. I think you were talking about relationship from a bigger perspective, right? A bigger picture, right? The relationship among these persons in this group. They are from different educational backgrounds. They are from different countries. Yet they want to share something really sincere within their soul. They want to befriend others, right? And they also are very interested in Chinese culture. Is all I get from your story. So, well, maybe Zhu, you have something to say about your feedback to Joseph's story, or do you have anything you want to share about this one? I know that just now I said relationship. At first, I imagined that would be something like the relationship between friends or even lovers, I guess, because when I got this from my WeChat moment, that person, that friend of mine, maybe he or she is in a relationship. That is a one versus one relationship. Maybe not a very big one, not between countries or among a group, but all those are important relationships. So maybe Zhu, you can share with us something about relationship, right? We just zoom in and to see if we can talk about relationship on a smaller level.
So I've heard that you say it's in a smaller level. So I'm in those international schools. So we have those students from all other nations, from all other countries. So I'm just taking out one. So there's one of my friends. So he's from is it oh, so he's Korean. So usually we go out to eat out lunch. So beside our school, there is a really big plazas. So there are a lot of foods there. So there is a restaurant called Red Tteokbokki. So which in wait, no, it's Korean. I think that it's something similar to 炒年糕 in Chinese. So went to that restaurant and we sit down, we order a Korean kinds of hot pots. So when we started eating, I just found out that there is something that there's different with our like traditional things or our mindsets. So when I'm eating those hot pots, so the student, no, I mean the my friends, he used the chopsticks to roll, or I would say to scramble the whole pot. And I was like, that's like so rude. Like you cannot do that. That's unrespectful. That's like so disgusting. And he's like, what? We don't have that traditionals. And I'm just saying to him that usually when you did this, everyone just think the hot pot is completely like, how do we say? It's like unclean, like no one wants to share his saliva, and he just still doing it. And right now, like because that thing was like 2 days ago, we're not friends anymore. So that's kind of something I want to share these days. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a very interesting story because I think there is a common thing between your story and Joseph's story, collision, right? Because you are different persons. That is the first thing. And the second thing is that right, you are from different nations. You mentioned that this friend of yours, yeah, he was a friend of yours, right? He is no longer now, and he is a Korean boy, right? I suppose. And so you will encounter such, how to say, sometimes it's a cultural shock, and sometimes it's a small collision, and it's just so common in human relationship, not just friends, also sometimes with our partners, our lovers, even with our parents. And it also reminds me of a very big difference between maybe our generations to from how to say the generations of maybe my grandpa and grandma, right? I don't know whether you have ever, for example, when you went back to your hometown, and then they would be very happy, and if you were sitting in front of the table, right, you were having dinner with each other, and then they would use their chopstick, and they would just, right, give you some food, some delicious food, right, with their chopsticks. And sometimes you will see that, oh, they are not just doing that. For example, if they try to give you something delicious things, and before that they would just put their saliva on that on those chopsticks. Right, they are not doing this for purpose, but you have already seen that. So what will you do? Maybe some of you, some of the younger generation, they will say, wow, it's so dirty. It is so, I don't want to eat something with my grandma's saliva, right? I would just refuse that. But at the same time, their feelings would be hurt, right? They would think that, wow, I just want you to eat something more, right? So you can see that actually there are something changing right now. For example, in the past, the older generation, they might think that, wow, the most important thing is that we can satisfy our needs. For example, if we feel hungry, then we can have enough food. It's just not that important about cleanliness, right? But right now we are in a very different ages, right? We can have so many delicious foods, right? We can order them from Meituan, and we can go outside. We can take back some delicious food, right? I know Joseph ordered a pizza right just now, and it's just so convenient, and it's not that expensive. So what you have said right now reminded me of this small collisions that might happen, between different generations. So maybe you have anything you want to share with us, Joseph? I noticed that you were smiling.
Because I think it is a very interesting show. All right, what else do you want to hear about my personal story? Because Marco, when you first told me about this show, you wanted to hear my story about me doing public speaking, all this journey, all along the way, of course. And why order pizza? Because pizza has a really close connection with my English public speaking contest. Number one, that's pizza. Number two, Hotpot. Which one you want to go first?
So Juby, maybe you pick the one
All right, which one you want to go first? Pizza or Hotpot?
How about we do pizza, because I think that's in the start of Hotpot today. That's like way too much relative to it. So is that okay?
Okay. All right, pizza first, huh? All right, I just ate a pizza from Mr. Pizza today, and it was really delicious. But my favorite brand of pizza is Domino's. I like Domino's the best. When did the pizza start? I really like pizza, of course. Some say that it is just a failed version of steamed buns of Marco Polo, but I don't think so. Both steamed buns and pizzas have their own characteristics. They're both quite unique. And of course, that's from the origin of the story, but from the origin of its connection with my public speaking, that's the story of me entering Nanjing University. And Marco, you remember in 2020, that's 3 years ago when we first met, I mean online, we were having that group course classes, and we were both preparing for the interview of postgraduate entrance examination. When I finally got admitted into Nanjing University, my father that night said, "All right, finally, I am going to give you a little reward. You can just eat whatever you want with your friends or whatever it may be." So I went out with my friend, with my dear brother called Edward Cao. I was in my hometown in Xuzhou, Jiangsu Province, a city in the northern part of Jiangsu Province. We went out, two of us, we ate a 26-inch large pizza. 26-inch. I say that again. 26-inch with 18 slices. 18 slices. Yeah, 18. I really have no idea how 18 slices were made, but it was just like that. Because normally we are going to divide pizzas into 6 or 8, right? But it had 18. I got 12 of them. I got 12 slices. I got 12 slices. Yeah, because it was a, imagine that, 26 inches.
So you haven't eaten anything for 3 years before you have that pizza, right?
It feels like that way. Because because you know, preparing for that exam was hard. It was extremely hard. You could barely sleep at night. You had to get up early in the morning. You had to do a lot of work. You had to read a lot of books, translating a lot of materials and articles. You had to do whatever you could to get onto that graduate school. That was tough. And during that part, I lost like 9 kilograms of weight, but I wasn't, but that weight was immediately put on. Especially it was the beginning of coronavirus, 2020, and everything was delayed. All right, that was the beginning, the big pizza I ate before entering Nanjing University School of Foreign Languages and Cultures. After that, I was with a bunch of teammates, and the coach that was training me was my master shifu, Dr. Judy Young, and I told her, what about we have pizza tonight after finishing the training? And we went to the nearest Pizza Hut. And every time from the competition of Jiangsu province to the national finals, every time we train, every time when we finished training, we would go to Pizza Hut, Mr. Pizza, Pizza Mazzano, Domino's, or all kinds of pizza, until we found that the Domino's was the greatest pizza that we had ever tasted. And it was because of the pizza that I got my first national prize in the University School for Language. My first. It was a national second prize. It was my first. It was my first competition for them. It was my first competition for my graduates.
So many thanks to pizza, right?
Yeah, many thanks to pizza, of course. And in 2021, it was also a very great relief to support me through the online round number 1, online round number 2, national semifinals, and the national finals. The day of national finals finally arrived, and I went to Chengdu. And that was nothing about pizza. It was about Hotpot. Number 2, the story of me eating Hotpot in Chengdu. Okay. I still remember the day when I stepped into Chengdu. I still remember the day that I took a 9-hour CRH train journey and arrived in Chengdu at very late at night. But it was like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock when I got there, but I got my friends treating me still. He invited me to the Hotpot. That was my first Hotpot meal. On the second day, Hotpot again for lunch. Hotpot again for dinner. Day number 3, Hotpot for lunch. Hotpot for dinner. And it was my first day of competition. And I finished my competition on the first day. Yeah. Day number 4, Hotpot for dinner. Yeah, that was like eating Hotpot all the week. All the week. Oh, I'm sorry. Hotpot, the day number 3, it was Hotpot for lunch and Hotpot for dinner. Day number 4, finally, I got Burger King for lunch. Oh my God, I was tired of eating Hotpot. And day number 4, what I did for dinner, nothing. Because I was like, I felt like I never wanted to eat anything.
Actually, I was thinking that I was expecting you would say pizza because you are a pizza boy.
Oh my god, I never had a slice of pizza in Chengdu. Okay, day number 5. Day number 5, the day I got the champion. The day I got the national champion. Burger King for lunch, but a big celebratory meal. A big meal for celebration.
Hotpot again.
Hotpot. Again. Hotpot again. And for the next 3 months, I never ate Hotpot anymore. Oh my god. You know that kind of weird feeling in your body.
So you never said something to your friend? You never said that, wow, I don't want to have Hotpot today. Why not KFC or McDonald's? Right. So I think you were saying that while you are sometimes in a relationship, you would just, how to say, hold back your own wishes. For example, you really want to have a pizza, but you won't share with them your thoughts, right?
But sometimes I really wanted to have that Hotpot because in Chengdu the climate was wet. But if I didn't eat Hotpot, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because of the moisture weather over there, and sometimes getting myself sweaty after eating Hotpot, that would make me feel relaxed. Pros and cons of Hotpots, just like that 丑年糕 thing by Dr. Zhu Bei.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. So about those things that you talk about Hotpot, that just remembers me about another story. So I think Marco knows that I've been really fat, used to be really fat, like around, let me think, it's around 99 kgs. Not 99, sorry, it's 98 kgs. So that's my highest my weight. So because of that, so I decided to go diet. So at first I went to those summer camp for training you and for losing your weight, and I started to do all those workouts there, like 7 days a week, like the whole week. And they have running in the morning. So after running, we'll do some activities. So example of Samba, it's like those dancings. And in the afternoons, we have a running again, like, and after that, it's like jumping ropes or other things like that. All those, like, oh, there's a swimming class that I kind of like it because I'm really into water. So I really like that class. And after that, before we have lunch, we need to go running again. So which I mean by running, it's like not stopping, for continuing for a half an hour running, like a slow run. So we're just running like a circle, like there's a middle thing, there's a tree, I still remember. We're just running all around there. So wait, I'll show you some pictures. Let me see. Oh, this one. Okay. So this one used to be me. Can you see that? Yeah, this one used to be
cute.
me.
So cute. How old was you?
Is that cute? That's around 2019 or 2020. I couldn't remember that. And I'm like super fat. So because of that, yeah, back to the camping. So in there, I only lose somewhere around like 5 kgs. So you might ask that, how do I get to here? Like now I'm like losing for almost 40 kg. No, not 40. 35 kg almost. So how did I do that? So in the camp, they give you like normal foods, like they don't have those sugar-free things. They're like normal foods. So it's really hard. So I found out is that really hard for you to kept moving, kept doing those workouts to get the point that you lose your weight. So I just found out that it's more effective if you just do those eating. So I started eating hot pots every day, like almost for half of the year, like 6 months. So which I mean by hot pot is with no oils and no what is it called, like carbon something is like related to those rices or bread. So I stopped eating those. I stopped those all those sugars. I used to be a really like crazy those French desserts. I'm really crazy. I'm really obsessed with those. So I've stopped it because I need to do those sugar-free things. So after like half a year, here I am. So I lose around like 35 kgs right now. And from now I found out that maybe there's a little bit problems with my health because sometimes I just get really tired and I just have none of those passionates for doing things. I started to lying at home like for Sundays. I have class on Saturdays. I mean, Marco knows that, right? Yeah. So I've started eating those sugar things and those carbon things, like continue eating it right now. So I feel like quite better, but my weight haven't been increasing because I think that's quite related to those like diet thing that I still have. So usually, let me do an example. So usually we eat those deep fried chickens. You usually love those skins, right? So when I eat it, I rip off those skins. I only eat the meat. So I've left it all the oils there. So that just kept me. I wouldn't say that I will decrease my weights, but at least I kept my weight like not increasing with those continual sugars. Yeah. So I think that's something cool to share.
Okay, thank you. So now actually I have one comment for Joseph and one question for Mr. Zhu, Dr. Zhu, right? And the first one to Joseph is that wow, so you are saying you were saying that actually you just started your journey from the date you went to Nanjing Nanjing Normal University, right? So because in the past, I suppose that you have already started this journey when you were even younger, for example, senior high school or undergraduate period. But yet you told me that you just got this achievements within 3 years. You were just a green hand. You were just a green hand in this field, right? So wow, that really shocked me. That is
I
one comment.
pretended to be a green hand. I just selected the story from 2020 to 2023. But I really started public speaking at a very young age. That was the previous story, and I had nothing to tell about that part because the most important competitions were finished between 2020 and 2023. I think that was a very important part of me. Of course, because starting at a very young age, the story would be too long. And of course, when I was in when I was in my undergraduate studies, I was like, I wasn't trained properly, and I was like the beginner's luck. Not until in my graduate studies did I realize that I need professional training, and I had very good teachers and teammates around me. Because before that, I was doing all these competitions alone. But when I was in graduate school, I was not alone. I had a team. I had my friends around me. I had my teachers giving me advice. I had my teammates supporting each other, no matter whether it was good or bad, no matter what kind of competition I went through. Yeah, just like that.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Joseph, for your honesty and further details. And also, for Juby, just now you shared a very, how to say, inspiring and motivating story. of your journey, right? Losing weight. So
Oh my god, I really need to learn from you.
I think you are cute. You don't need to lose weight. You're already
Oh,
very
come on.
cute person. Unless you feel some pains or you are start to getting some annoying disease because of weight. If not that, I don't think it's necessary to lose weight. Because some say that, oh, you have to be a thin person if you want to be a charming person. I think that is totally a lie. Yeah, we lose weight just because we think that our health condition might be affected or influenced, and that is the only reason we might want to lose our weight. And that is what I want to share with you. And also, Jupi, I was wondering just now why you decided to lose weight, and what's your motivation? What was your motivation? What triggers you to do? What triggered you to do that? Yeah, because I don't think one can how to say, insist on those painstaking work, right, out of no reasons. I don't think that will be a very natural thing. So I was wondering why. And if you wanted to, if you don't mind, can you share with us the story behind the whole thing?
Yeah, I could share. Like the question you just asked, it just really leads to the point that you just stand out that you need to I wouldn't say that you need to, like you would like to decrease your weight because of health problems. So before that I got those liver problems. So in Chinese we say 脂肪肝. So it's basically those fats around your liver. So that just making you unhealthy. And i'm I'm even a teenager and I got those problems, and that's a really like a big problem that you have to really solve it. So after that I like people might ask though, why would I check those? So there is one day, because when I was small I don't know why I just got those stomach aches. So my mom is asking like, why is there any like bugs in your stomach? Like is that the pain causing by those bugs in your stomach? So she decided to take me to the hospitals to do a checking thing. So you have those things that moves around on your stomachs, and they could see all those things inside. So when I'm doing that, the doctor says that you have those fat livers. You have to do it because that really affects your healthy, right? So after that, my mom decided to say you must lose your weight, and I think that it's a really huge problem too. So I just decided to do it. So just I said, I went to the summer camp to lose my weight, and I just walking till now. So for that, I have something I want to add in is that those campings is just not really working. Is It's more about your diet. Like I mean, like if you're running for 3 hours a day, and those fats you release, it's not even higher than a bite of a cake. So why don't you just don't buy the cake? You just don't eat those cakes. Just don't eat those, okay? That would be like quite easier. I mean, not for everyone, but it's like for me, because I would like to stay at home and not moving, and I could eat those all those vegetables. I could eat those salads. I could eat anything, but I just don't really want to move, because so that's something I find out. So maybe it's not good for everyone. Like you have your own choice. Maybe you just love to eat, so you just have to keep doing those running things, but I decided not to. So that's something I want to share.
Okay, thank you. So just to say something about our meeting time, because now we have 9 minutes left, so maybe we will have a break, and later we will come back. We will restart our meeting, and now we still have 9 minutes. And so, just now, so Dr. Ju, he said something about the reason, right? So that is a must. That was a must. You need to lose your weight because it did influence your health, right? But also you mentioned that when you started to do this, you were still a teenager. You were still a teenager, right? So I don't know what your mental condition or your what's your feelings back then, because at first it was your mom who said that, wow, you really have to do this, right? But still, you are a teenager, you are not an adult. It's not that teenagers are weaker than adults. It's not like that. It's just, I'm just saying that well, you as a teenager, how could you, right? How could you insist on the whole journey, right? Before, maybe I have a how to say, I had a prediction before you answer my question. I would imagine something like body shame or some humiliation, right? I don't know, because I myself, you know my history, right? So you know that when I was a little girl, I was suffering from those humiliations, but not for body shame, but similar thing. It's just because I was too beautiful, right? I'm still are. Right. You know that you will encounter something bad in your life, no matter who you are, and no matter at what age, right? So just now, I was guessing that it was maybe because something like your friends, they tease at you, or at school they said that, wow, you are too fat. I don't want to befriend you because you are fat. But no, you are saying that is for health reasons, right? And I guess still, it was hard for me to imagine the whole thing, because as a teenager myself, I didn't have that mature thought that I need to practice myself, or I need to insist on my diet so as to lose weight. So how? I still don't understand. Can you say more about that?
I think that might be a really shock, but I think I've never actually experienced any bullying situations. So in schools, those friends are actually nice. They don't do those body shame things. But since that you talked about that, I think there is one more reasons. Like once you started, like I was like really fat at really like a lot of brands, they don't have those size for me, and I'm a really fan into those designer brands, those good looking clothes. You can't see, there's a lot. I haven't opened it, but there's a lot, and I just loving those. And once I started in those summer camps, like the first 5 kgs, I found out that I can fit in those designer brands. Like I can actually fit in, like, even though it's like those the biggest size, but I could actually fit it in. And I just couldn't stop. So I just rolling till now. So it's more something that I actually enjoyed to losing those weights, because I've experienced those change of my body, and I can fit into more of those clothing things. So that's something I actually enjoyed about it. It's not like not happy like during those diet things, like not eating those oils. I actually enjoyed it. Yes.
Wow. Well, so you are saying that you are doing all this because you enjoy it, right? I think that is a really interesting thing that I want to talk about with you guys, right? If you don't feel tired, maybe we will just have a little break for 5 minutes, and we will go back to our meeting room at 5 minutes later, right? Is that okay to you, Joseph?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so why don't we just have a break?
Mm.
See you.
Okay.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.